You're listening to Before Babies, Sex and Relationships podcast with Dr. Terri Foran, a sexual health physician sharing her insight into keeping your relationship strong on your journey to parenthood.
Today we're going to be talking about communication. When a couple is trying for a pregnancy, it can become a major focus. But of course, sex is not just for making babies. It's a shared experience between partners that blends both the physical and the emotional. It's one of the few times in our lives that we make ourselves really vulnerable to another person. Keeping open communication as to what makes you both feel good and loved is so important. Feeling safe and supported in communicating your wishes and your desires can also take that physical intimacy to a new level. And we're not just talking verbal communication here. Much of how humans communicate is through non-verbal communication. And this can actually be harder to hide than what is actually said between you. This is maybe the time to both remind yourselves just why you want to make babies with this particular person in the first place, and to commit to never taking that person for granted. Keeping the sexual frisson alive is important in any long-term relationship. And even though the emphasis might seem to be on conceiving, this is actually a great time to practice your sexual communication skills. Think about ways you could get creative. Maybe you could think about sending an unexpected sext, or trying things out that you haven't before, like role play or games, as long as you both feel comfortable doing this. Or go old school and leave a sexy love letter on their pillow. The good news is that the release of dopamine and testosterone that comes with fantasy and anticipation also pump more blood where it's needed, and all these factors can contribute to helping you to conceive. There can be guilt, worry, and blame when conception is taking longer than expected, and unfortunately this may play out in resentment, agitation, frustration, and arguments. It's important to give each other time to share those thoughts and feelings so that you can be supportive of one another. Sometimes just quiet understanding can make a huge difference. Or if someone just needs some time out, it might be important to give them the space to work things through on their own. In my next webcast, I'll be talking about what to do when one of you isn't in the mood, but the calendar is giving you the green light for conception. I hope you'll join me then.